Uh, Hello everyone. Today I'm creating the second video on eoffice. This video is basically meant for the clerical staff that has to create a draft and finally to dispatch the same, and how to browse and diarise the dark. That means how they have to dispatch the dark in the current scenario. And we have also received a number of doubts that while creating a draft and when the draft is getting approved, there are certain alignment changes. So I'm creating a video to address all such doubts, and that the alignment should not change. So first of all, I am logging into my IT here. And then I will go into file management system. For testing purpose, I have earlier created a file. So whatever file I am creating here, after creation of the same, that file will be found in created completed. I had earlier created this file named as testing, and let's open this file. Okay. Now suppose there's something. There's something, and we are supposed to create a draft for it. Then the first thing that we need to do is to go into draft and create new draft. And here, for example, I have also prepared this draft that I need to get it approved. I'm just copying the draft. Control C, and I have pasted the draft here. As we can see here, usually the alignment changes here and here, and at the stamp also when the draft is getting approved and it is getting digitally signed. So the solution for this is, first of all, we have to select these things and click on clear formatting here. This option, it will clear all the formatting. Okay. And now after that, this date, the date at which the proposal has been approved from the competent authority, that has to be cut. And that should be pasted like this. And the name of worthy chairman, you should paste on the right side. There is an option here, align right. And below this, you have to write and here this is the endorsement number. Earlier we used to write the dispatch number here, but now in the eoffice scenario, the dispatch number gets automatically created when we click on dispatch. And here this date should be And now, yes, in this session we will also learn how to use these tags. There are several tags here. For example, approved date, approved by post. We will also learn how to use these. So I'm selecting this and I'm pasting it here. Further, I have to align right here, and now the file that has been created, it will go to the concerned branch in charge, and it is very important to select it and paste here. And align it to the right. Similarly, we will see what changes happens when we are pasting these hashtags and we are using them. And below it, we have to write here, after aligning right, and just above it, let me increase the size of the font. We can also write approved by name. Okay, so this is how we have done certain alignment changes, and we have tried to create the draft. And now let's see what happens. I'm going to save it, but before that I have to fill in the communication details here. Suppose we have to send this letter to regional officer Sonipat, then we have to write here, okay, I see that the details are getting auto populated here, so I'm clicking on this. And what is the nature of the draft? This is basically an order. It will depend on the type of the draft. It can be a letter, it can be an order. So depending on that, and what is the subject here, the subject is basically whatever the subject is, that has to be typed here. And after that, suppose the number of recipients are higher, it has to be sent to DC, RO and to the unit. So the number of communication will also increase, and we have to click on add more recipient. And we see that the recipient that we had added has come up here, regional officer Sonipat. Now I'm adding the details of DC Sonipat. And the address we can find out from the website. This is Mini Secretariat Sonipat. Okay, so this is basically for learning purpose, and now we have learned this. And now I'm going to save this, and we will see what happens when the draft is getting approved. So I've saved it. Now let's see. I'm going to approve it. The draft, after getting created, you have to send to the concerned branch in charge, and they are supposed to approve it and DSA it. Now suppose I have sent the letter and the concerned person is approving it. I'm clicking on approve here. Let's see what happens. Once draft gets approved, no further changes can be made. Yes. Okay. Okay, so we see that here there are still some alignment changes. The way we have tried to create the draft, it has not taken it in a similar way, but in the stamp here it is quite okay. Earlier there were issues like the name, the stamp gets distorted quite, but there is issue is still there, and it is also being taken up with Heartron and NIC. But till that time, the ways that we have learned today, that is clear formatting the draft document and aligning on the right, and we have also learned how to use this hashtags. This is approved date. We have learned how to use approved by post. So basically here we had written approved by post, here we had written approved by name. So these hashtags, when we are using here, they will automatically get converted into the concerned, whatever the post is, whatever the name is. And after that, let me custom sign into it. This is only for testing purpose. For example, I am signing here. So the way to sign it is this, and then click on TSC sign here. And once the draft gets approved and signed, after getting approved, here the draft status will show approved, and after signed, look, now it is showing as signed. So there is some issue in the Mozilla Firefox that the DSC sign would not be visible here. We can see it is not visible here. But if I open the same thing in Chrome, then the DSC sign will be visible. Now after this, suppose the concerned person is dispatching it, so it has to be dispatched. This dispatch will give us a dispatch number on it. So for example, I am sending it without follow-up. Now I can see that in the files, after just dispatching it, I can see that the draft letter has automatically been put into the file. This is the letter that we were checking, and it has been approved. Now there is one more issue that normally people are finding out: how to dispatch it, how to send it to the concerned person. So for that, it is very simple process. We have to download it first. For example, this is the process to download. We can open the table of content. Okay, so this was the receipt. And I want to download it. I have to click here and download. It is very easy to download. For example, I am saving the file. It has been it is downloading here, and it will be downloaded. Then I have to go into the receipts section. Any document that we want to send through eoffice, that has to be browsed and diarised first, and only PDF documents can be browsed and diarised. So let's click on browse and diarise. Here we can upload the file, whatever document it is. I'm clicking on upload here. Now there's a difference. I will try to explain the difference between what details are to be filled when we are creating a draft and we are sending a receipt. Here this was the document. I have uploaded it. Now this letter has been created. Now the contact details here will be of the concerned branch or the person from where this letter has been generated. For example, this has been generated from the head office, or for example the publicity cell. So I will write here the publicity cell. And this letter is coming from, usually the letter are approved by senior engineers, senior scientists, and here these designation will be senior EE, and after that the subject has to be written here. For example, the subject is suspension of closure order, and I'm writing here testing purpose only. This is not an actual order. This is only for testing purpose. And after that, I also need to write here letter reference number. Here the reference number is this one, this the dispatch number. It is a very unique number. And the letter date will be this one, the date at which the fare has been signed and approved, 10/11/2020. I have generated it. For example, here we can click on usually general matters and then click on generate. Now we see that the receipt has been generated and all the details here are filled up. Address is this, and it is coming from SWE publicity cell, and I need to send it to the concerned regional officer or to the concerned persons. For example, I want to send it to regional officer Sonipat. So I just need to write here RO Sonipat. Or it is not coming like that, then you can see here RO Sonipat region here, and I am sending it. Send. Well, this was only for testing purpose, so I will in eoffice we also have a feature to recall and pull back the items that I have sent. That will be done using this pullback. I've clicked on pullback, and remarks I just gave that it was wrongly sent, or it was for testing purpose here. Okay, so through this video we have learned how to create a draft, how to make necessary changes in the draft so that the alignment does not change. And further we have learned after the draft gets approved and digitally signed, how we have to dispatch to the regional officer concerned, or we have to dispatch to anyone. It has to be noted that through eoffice we can send to only those who are having login IDs and passwords, who are in eoffice, and other people to whom the draft has to be sent, it will be sent mechanically. That means in hard copy only. Okay, thank you for watching this video.